Hey, Toolkit friends. Oh my gosh, this is a good one. Before we dive into today's episode, I want to set the stage for this conversation. So, this is Jacob Radcliffe. He's the mind behind countless GHL systems that are run by some of the big powerhouses and white label brands. He's truly one of the most quietly brilliant builders in the HighLevel ecosystem. He's a former military serviceman turned K-5 teacher turned automation engineer who's now leading development at a high-end company. So let me just set the record straight. His journey is totally wild, like mine. He's inspiring and honestly, the perfect reminder that you can build an incredible career in the space without having a traditional path. In this interview, Jacob breaks down how he got started, how he used HighLevel to create life-changing income for his family, and then how the toolkit helped him scale faster, offer deeper solutions, and land the kind of clients most people are afraid to go after. He is so generous with how he does what he does. He's honest and he just opens up his playbook. So settle in. You're about to get some big truths from someone who truly understands both the engineering side and the heart of this work. So let's dive in.
So my name is Jacob Radcliffe. I am the owner of Curated Services, which is a consulting company, primarily consulting with HighLevel, and Curated Apps, which is my software development side, where I'm a HighLevel developer partner. Been for the last 3 years. And that's how I came to know Tom, and his toolkit is doing a ton of lots of small projects for lots of different agencies, some using his product, some using my products, and there's a lot of carryover crossover between the tooling sets. I'm currently the head of engineering at Scipio, where Scipio is a text messaging platform for voicemail drops and texting and that sort of thing. And so we just took that over to add voice AI services into their stack and lead their engineering teams. That's me. And yeah, so I think I've gotten a lot out of his tooling. And of course, I would love to be able to kind of walk through it or just kind of maybe showcase some things that I'm a big fan of. But before I do that, of course, Virginia, if you want to ask me questions or, I'll let you kind of take over the lead here.
Yeah, absolutely. What got you, first of all, what got you into HighLevel? How did you find HighLevel?
Well, my background is kind of interesting. So I was in the military for 9 years, and when I got out, I became a school teacher. So I taught K-5 technology to little kids, and it was an absolute blast. It was a ton of fun. But while I was a school teacher, I started getting more into programming. Because I was a tech teacher, I was potentially going to be teaching high school and potentially teach JROTC programs as well. And my cousin had made a post one day and he was sharing HighLevel. And I had a moment, I saw it, and I'm like, I don't know what this is, but I have to do it. So I'm a big Christian believer, and that was part of my belief set. Is I just felt very led into the technology. And so at that point forward, it became like just a huge part of my life, where I would do consulting work on lunch breaks, consulting work after hours. And it just got to be where, getting home and doing another 4 hours of work every night was. And so eventually I had also been doing the affiliate program. So early on with HighLevel, you could serve as sort of like an affiliate and do builds. So there was so much need at the time. People just put a post out and like, who wants to set me up? I'm like, I'll do it. And so I would hop on, get the affiliate, click with somebody, go do a full custom build with them. And then it just kept stacking up eventually to the point where I made more money as a HighLevel affiliate than I was earning as a school teacher. And then that's what helped me to kind of take the plunge, go full time being in the marketing and automation space. And of course, everything from there just kind of cascaded. So my software company, I had built tooling because I was so busy and I was juggling all these different things. I built low code tooling to be able to do more work faster. So I had build tools on Make, Zapier, and Pabbly to be able to quickly build automations with HighLevel on those platforms.
Cool.
And so basically rebuilt the HighLevel API 3 times on those products, which just increased my knowledge, increased my need to go learn more things. So I was not a software developer before all this. I had to become one to kind of take on more project work and do more things. And so that people saw the tools that I was using just on my own in projects and they're like, can I buy that? And I'm like, sure. So I started selling it. And that was, of course, kind of the kickoff of having two separate companies, a consulting and a software company. And I've just had a chance to work with a ton of different verticals and industries in this time frame. Just I think it's very interesting. Right now, what's funny is like the AI automation space is very popularized. And
Mm,
3 years ago, it was not. It was traditional agencies selling traditional services. AI was just starting to kind of like really help people. To me, when AI was first coming out like 3 to 4 years ago, I was using it just to teach me stuff. I was blown away how fast it could teach me things. And I was like,
sure.
oh, this is the best teacher I've ever had. Like, I don't have to go research these topics. I can just ask this here. So for me to have such a condensed learning time frame, it helped me to learn programming and learn other concepts faster. It helped me to iterate faster and do things. And now it's funny seeing it all today. What I learned years ago about how significant AI is in the market and how it can really educate you quickly. And so it's nice to see that everybody else is catching up to that idea. But yeah, it's been a huge blessing for my family too, because I've been able to be home with my family, and just see my kid grow up as well. Now she's back in school, so she's now in pre-K, so she's full time, and I think that was pretty cool to be able to have that opportunity to be at home all those years with my wife, all the way up until she was in pre-K. And just recently taking on a full-time position with my current company. So yeah, what a huge blessing that HighLevel has been to me and all the people I interact with, like Tom and his tech and all these different ones. That it's been fun.
So tell me a little bit about that. I mean, it is a huge blessing to have that. And it's so cool that you were in the beginnings when you kind of caught the stream at the right time. Wouldn't you say like you just caught it at the right time to
Yeah,
build out?
affiliate marketing is complicated, and high level is not like any other product anywhere in the market. And primarily that the 40% cut is significant, especially when you do, 4 or 5 builds. Even if you did one custom build per month that included that, I mean, that after about a year, it's a serious income source. And it's nice because people don't leave the software. Really, like my affiliates don't churn. In 2 years, I think I've had maybe one or two people churn because
Yeah.
I was part of the build. I was part of the process to get them on the platform and glue them to the platform. And so I think that's where there's so much value as to how high levels structured it from the beginning. And that's why they kind of partnered with people like me to go out there and build, sell the system, be the champion in the system, become the expert. Other ecosystems are loaded with high dollar consultants, your Salesforces, your Zohos, these other ones. They have all these people that are selling those systems for a super high amount of money. So with high level being able to package as an affiliate with like a build fee, you can be more flexible
Right.
because of the affiliate side.
Right.
I think that's what gave me an edge as an individual person. And, as a business owner, I don't like to brag or boast about numbers and stuff like that. But, I think that a lot of businesses, they're in debt their first year or two. There is no debt with high level other than your monthly subscription. So if you can successfully land one affiliate, your high level subscription is paid for. And then what? Then what do you do next? Like, how do you take that and run with it? And so, never have I seen another business model where your very first sale can be turned net positive at that point. So, whether it's you selling inside of your own account and you have your own subscription and you're selling your own clients within your own agency, or you're setting up an agency for somebody else, the net positive is so quick. And
Mm.
so I think this is a huge benefit to the high level community, that a lot of people are very centric around the idea of running their own company, their own agency. But I have personally found far more success going and setting up lots of different agencies, different services, direct clients, doing their build outs, helping them be self sustaining. And then I leave. And I think it's, of course, not for everybody. Having to work for 40 or 50 different verticals has been very revealing as to who I would want to partner with, who I want to work with, the companies that I spend the most time with. And I think that there's so much commonality. And I think you would probably have seen the same, right, Virginia? Like with your work with different types of companies, like you start to find a common thread amongst all of them.
Absolutely. And the ones you want to work with and the ones that maybe can go and work, with other people.
Yeah. Yeah. Some I don't want to work with.
So tell me, Jacob, how did you come across Tom and the Marketer's Toolkit?
The first one was through a very good friend of mine. And of course, because of the white label concept, I can't reveal too much details of industries and stuff like that because sometimes it's important not to. But he was a very heavy user of the toolkit from a styling perspective. It didn't even look like HighLevel. Like he has like this styling where you could have like everything on the top level instead of the left sidebar. And at the time, there was been so much competition in the marketplace within the SaaS world. Any sort of level of differentiation where you could hide or white label HighLevel could give you an advantage. And so now it's a little more known, it's a little more out there that this is the tech stack that people are building on, kind of like a Salesforce, like, oh, we're building on top of a Salesforce. So at the time when I was building, it was a lot more secretive, like it was a secret sauce idea and secret sauce thing.
Yes.
And I think now it's a lot less that way. It's more formal that this is just the stack we're building on. And
Right.
but yeah, I think I got introduced to it through him and learning all the intricacies of what you could build with it. And then it branched into um a different industry, like affiliate marketing based courseware company that I worked with for a pretty long period of time, where they also heavily leveraged it. This was the first time I had seen an agency that completely stripped out the UI of the HighLevel product, just having like one or two things shown. And it was like, this is cool, this is different. And so learning the psychology of it too. So like I was never into marketing and sales psychology. I was a school teacher. I was a
Right.
military service member. I didn't know all these things. So it was like a front row seat into the brains of multi-million dollar operations to be able to see like how they're selling their courses and how they intake people and how the funnels and things flow through. And then like, if the toolkit is hiding all these things, like this is the logic, this is the reason why we're doing it. And, a lot of agencies, what they do is they use it to success people into different plan tiers because the native HighLevel platform does not hide enough things. And so the big advertisement here on the product level for Tom's product is that you need to be able to hold back a lot of the features and things because the platform is too feature heavy. There's too much tools, there's too many menus, there's too many things. Just for that fact alone, literally every agency owner should be using it because it will cut down on your support. It will simplify the platform for people to be able to go find the things quickly, add custom links or custom apps and custom things. I've probably interacted with about 10 different agencies using Tom's product just through different things. One of the most popular things I think they use for it is the custom buttons in the UI where you can pop a pop up. So if you're on a contact record, it just opens a pop up. And within the pop up, you can put a form and he has a way to push data to the form. So these become very useful. Most of the agencies that I've worked in have some level of somebody's calling the leads, whether it's a sales rep, a virtual assistant, and whoever's calling the leads, you need to build a system for them. You need to build a way to leverage the software. And so Tom's tooling with that window to me is by far the most useful thing to be able to have that pop up, fill in some details, submit a form, and then that form can do all sorts of actions on the back end of HighLevel, whatever you can dream to your heart's content. But by having that, it lets you train your overseas staff on a more formal process and kind of like building things that you just simply couldn't do without his toolkit. Without having that pop up and that ability to do that, I think like I can't imagine all the things I couldn't have built without it. And even in my current setup that I'm working through, like with my personal agency account or other ones, we very heavily use that, especially now. I think it's even on the sales opportunity cards where you can load up like a custom iframe within it and submit forms. All very helpful, very useful things.
Can you show us an example?
Uh, yeah, let me see if I have the theme builder on this particular agency, and I think I just wanna just, like, kinda walk through.
Yeah, that'd be great.
1 second. Let's see. Cool. So, this is the inside of the toolkit. So the theme builder and customizer, one of the just to like for people that watch this, like I do hope that people watch this video and like it really does sell them on the toolkit. One of the things that I hope people walk away from this is like the amount of stuff that's in here. I have not even explored all of it. It's crazy how much is in here with what you get for your subscription. These are annual plans. And so you could purchase these separately. And so with my current agency, I had the theme builder, and so, like with the theme builder, you can do things like change the colors, change the look and feel. You can add, of course, different menus and different things with the customizer, but primarily it's about styling the agency. So, if I wanted to change these colors up here, that's relatively easy to do. So, there's 10 million different things that you can do with it. And I think that's a bit of an overwhelming thing initially, but I think what's really special about this is that it's not just the initial theme. So you see like the green and you see like my curated system and like all these cool things and different icons. And that's done actually just through some of his native presets, I believe, or I
Mhm.
customized one of the presets. So I loaded this up and then you can come in here and you can see things like these different features like a location switcher with quick actions. I wanted to customize the color and look and feel of these things so you could see kind of how they look and feel. Tons and tons and tons and tons of different things. So for someone who is a designer type person, you can actually leverage this as a consultant as another service. So if you're like, oh, you run a franchise, cool, let's style this to look like your franchise product. Let's change all the colors. Let's change the buttons. You run a cleaning company. That's cool. Let's set it all up in here and dial it in for you, right? And so that's kind of like all these different options, what they mean in terms of like the look and feel of the platform. And then when you scroll through further, he has some really cool stuff for like the sign in page to customize that. He has the hide and rename features is really where most people spend most of their time, where you're coming in here and you're actually like removing like things from the platform. So if you don't want to see these notification banners or something like that, you can just hide it and take one more thing away from your clients, right? Because the biggest complaint is that something new will come out, a new banner, a new thing, a new advertisement, a new product. And Tom has always stayed on top of it. He's always been responsive, whether I'm working with a friend's agency and he has a need, or if I'm working with like 6 different other agencies that use his product. Like he's always responsive to add like the newest thing into the thing so that it's removed or hidden, which is extremely important too, because when we have clients that are self-serving inside the platform and we're trying to ascend them to a different plan, we don't want them to see things that we haven't put into our plan. Like maybe this new feature is worth a good bit of money and we don't want someone paying $100 a month to have that feature. And I think it takes time for the high level team to think through those things and put it in their SaaS configurator and do all these other setups. But that's where Tom and the customizer has really come into play. And it's not active in this account, but basically the customizer will allow you to set up unique different configurations for each account. So let's say, for example, you have a SaaS plan and you have 3 different tiers. So we have a low, medium, and a high plan, right? You can set up different views of the system within each of your pricing tiers. And then you can come in here and you can individually theme them. So if you wanted to have different themes, you could have totally different things hidden, totally different colors and styles within those themes. You can duplicate them. So I think that's the part of the product that people are not seeing, like the value of what that means. It means that you, as an individual marketing agency owner, think that you may not be able to swing the bat at these big dog, like huge franchises, multi location businesses. That is categorically untrue. You could easily build them a very bespoke CRM system within within your own agency account. So you don't have to go start a new HighLevel account for them. You can build it all in one, keep all that revenue for you and not just build it in another HighLevel account. So I think that's been two different strategies, whether you're leveraging the toolkit for yourself and your own agency and having a multi-location franchise sort of rollout, or if you're going to go build it out from scratch. And I've done both, and both have their pluses and minuses. And so I think this has been just a crazy amount of tools and things that you can do that have enabled me to do that. And then as well, I think some of the other highlights for me, he has some interesting like little scripts and little things that just make your experience a little bit better on the platform. Just it's hard to explain, but there's just so many buttons and toggles, especially in the customizer. So if you're going to go for a plan with Tom's product, do the $2.99 a month subscription. That's the one you want. That's going to have like both of these toggles right here so that you can have not just a single theme that runs throughout your agency, which is a fantastic product in and of itself. But if you really want to dial in very, very custom for each different SaaS plan, different product or a specific location has its own UI that's unique and custom menus added to it, that's what this one is all about. And so hopefully that's my like
I
rundown
love that.
of
I
the
love
toolkit.
that. And Tom just added, this is all so good, by the way. Tom just added a customizer light. Basically, and what that means is just that you can't have multiple location groups, just one location group, but you get all the pieces of the puzzle of the customizer with it. So that's really cool. But what you're talking about, and I think is so key, is you don't have to have a one size fits all for all of your sub accounts. You can really have this tiered experience for your users. And then also you could have completely, if you wanted to, a plumbing business and maybe a design firm, and it would have a completely different experience for the whatever niche user you're targeting.
For sure, for sure. And I think the challenge is, especially people that want to have like a single menu on the left, like I only get to see contacts, I only get to see X, the social planner, the system. Like there's no other real way to do it without Tom's product. Like you can try to hack your way to victory with AI and vibe code the thing, but I can tell you with 100% certainty that's a recipe for failure. And
My gosh.
for folks
Tell
that
us
try to
why.
style this, and I'm going to just help the audience understand this too, because the first thing they're like, oh, this is just CSS. I'm going to just go use a Chrome extension. I'm going to go, and believe me, I'm a tinkerer. I know how to do all these things too, right? And first of all, the UI changes so often in this product. This is HighLevel as a product is a full stack application built with Vue. Vue is the technology stack. What that means is things are constantly changing. They're constantly changing out. There are components that render within there. And it's a full-time job. It is a full-time job to build tooling like this and manage it that stays consistent and actually works. And I respect that. I respect the time, and my time is more valuable doing other things. If I'm sitting here hacking up, and this is an important thing for agency owners, right? Your time is more valuable than the cost of the subscription of this product. If your client is going to go pay you $1,000 a month because you presented them a custom system when Zoho is $2,000 a month, when Salesforce is putting them 3 or 4,000, this subscription pays for itself very quickly. This and it's hard for people to picture this until they see enough systems and enough demonstrations of what it does. But I think that's where like consultants that are coming maybe new to the space, that are coming from these like higher end systems, this is going to enable you to use a very inexpensive product with HighLevel at $497 a month. The subscription to this product like $300 a month. So for $700 a month, you have a system that can go and build fully clonable systems for franchises. You can build it for lots of different business types and models. And there's less of an issue with the styling of the platform getting in the way of onboarding people, because it is very difficult to onboard everything unlocked. I've done hundreds of onboardings, and I can tell you that if you only see 3 or 4 menus, much better, much easier life to just say, go here, instead of like 20 different things on the left side panel that they're going to weasel their way into every one of them. And then you're not going to get the task done that you need. So if that helps your retention, if that helps you to get more clients, then it's worth it. And I think that that's where folks right now that are more concerned with, like, you need to get started, you need to get established. I think that's cool to hear that the light product is getting released soon. I think that's a great move. But I consider this essential tooling for numerous agencies that I work with.
I was hearing when we were at Level Up, I was hearing, well, let me just get started in my agency. And when I'm more established, I'll get the marketer's toolkit. And I said, well, you need this to build your foundation. Would you agree with that?
Well, it's there's a lot of things happening to become a business owner, right? And I think
Right.
uh this, because it is a business. There is metrics, there's things, there's costs. How much do you sell it for? Are you going to get an ROI? If you have $800 worth of software, do you have $1,000 worth of clients? And do you have another thousand or $3,000 worth of clients to then fund all these things? So I view it as a cascade effect with HighLevel. You start at like a $97 account. They give you a pretty good grace period. I think it's most trials are 30 days. You can beg for another 30. Don't tell anybody I said that, but you can go beg support for another 30 days with HighLevel. You have 60 days to make money, right? And if you struggle to make money in 60 days with the product, then like there's a huge community of people that want to do nothing but help with HighLevel. I think that's the beauty of it, is it's like tools, and to kind of get wrapped back around into like when's the right time to purchase the right tool for the thing. It's important to be educated on what these things can do, because if you don't dream big and you don't go after the bigger clients and you don't know the tools that are in the toolbox to do that, then you will always be fearful of landing the bigger clients. Like when I first started, I would go like to like a martial arts studio, or I would go to like a few small people. And then like the very next person I had was a giant real estate like brokerage with, I think, like 50 different agents or something like that. And I was just overwhelmed. I didn't even know how to begin to tackle something like that. And I think that that's where, if I had presented this as a bespoke CRM that they could give to all their different agents, and like we have all this tooling, do a demo for them, maybe sign up for the white plan that you guys are coming out, but then have like a way to like showcase that. Like I could have
Yeah.
gone after that. I really could have swung a bat at that, but I was scared of that. I was fearful at the time. I didn't end up landing any deals with them. So I think part of it is learning enough about the system. And then, there's a lot to learn with HighLevel. There's a lot to learn with a tool like this, but knowing that this is out there and what it can leverage and do preps people to want to use it. And I'm excited to hear that you guys are doing that to get it more accessible, more in the hands of people.
Absolutely.
Um,
I
so
mean,
that
the
that's
theme builder alone is only $97 a month. And so, like, you can come into the theme builder and start working with that. I'm thinking of like when I came on, I have Soul Software, which is dedicated to heart centered entrepreneurs who are coaches, teachers, all of that. So I knew when I came in, certain aspects of HighLevel weren't going to work for me.
yeah,
The look and feel of it, the sidebar menu needed to be more intuitive. I wanted the whole experience to be much more intuitive. And at first, I didn't have the toolkit, and so I just tried my best to find, like, developers or somebody to, like, come around and do that for me, and then once I found the toolkit and I did the DIY, like, I basically went in and just started learning it, and it created the whole foundation for me, and then selling it was just so much easier, and I think about it, and I'm like, "If I had had this, like, 6 months ago, earlier, I would have been in a much better place." I think it just depends on do you know what you want, I guess? Do you know what you wanna build out is what you're saying, like.
yeah. And I've seen some really cool customizations of like how people use it. And I think that is like the dilemma. It's like, when do you make the choice to like add more software into your offer? And I think it really boils down to, if you've picked an industry, you picked a niche, you know how you want to onboard. You feel like the platform is holding you back from onboarding faster, more efficiently. You feel like these are things that are going to delay your ability to scale. That's the perfect time to jump in with it. If the people that you're targeting, like if it helps you present the product in a personalized way, like you're saying, like making it your own. Like I think some people, they don't learn the high level product and then they're like not just addicted to it, but like really addicted to it. Like they're in it every day and like this is my like perfect thing. Like it's my baby, right?
Yes.
And I don't think you can make high level vanilla your baby. It's just a software product. But when you use things like this and you really do that, I do feel like people want to invest more in it. So I totally sympathize with that too. Um, I think on the flip side of that, if I was to encourage people with a path or with like a certain thing, it's like you start with 97 account, you land at least one client at $300 a month. Pay your high level account, then you can get to 297 account, right? Now you have unlimited accounts. From there, then it's like, let me go land at least one more client at $300 a month to now afford a 497 account with a little bit of change left over or something like Toolkit. And then we can kind of start layering on. Now we
That's
have,
so smart. That is really
if
smart.
you're to have a very clear, like articulable path, like two $300 a month clients, which is not hard to do in terms of software and what people's expectations for a price point are. And then now you have a 497 account paid for it. You have a base plan with something like Toolkit. You have a way of really like owning yourself as a marketing agency or whatever your specialty may be. And then like the customizer comes into play like when you need to scale out what you're doing for 50 or 100 accounts, right? Because when I previously used it in a life and health insurance agency, we heavily used it, but different insurance types, tons of different options there, tons of different like forms to fill in, tons of different stuff. Like those industries like desperately need this product. They just don't even know it's out there. And I think that that's where um, I think initially like marketing agencies are fearful of targeting these companies. Like they don't know their industry, they don't know their systems. They don't know how to build for them. If they
Sure.
realize that
Yeah.
like this is extremely like we can do that. I can go help a mortgage or a banker or an insurance guy and I've helped them all. Like and every one of them somehow made a use case for this product, especially, but it's all really the customizer is really where all that magic happens. And I think
Yes.
that's where when you want to land higher ticket clients that have more CRM needs than what the base tier CRM can offer, that's when you really need to choose that as an upgrade. So.
I love it. I love it. Well, thank you for that. That is so smart. And when you were started building out, how far into building out were you doing before you found the Marketer's Toolkit?
Well, I found it through an agency that I was just working in because I was
Right.
like, I was like, what is this? Like, and this is from me being in the community for about 6 months, hearing of the tooling. But at the time, like I said, everybody was so hyper secretive of like their operations and how they did things.
Right.
Like nobody knew like how all these things worked. And I think that's where I've been in some of the largest white labels, some of the highest of high tier, um, with the, 5,000 sub accounts, 10,000 sub accounts.
Yeah. Yeah.
And almost every one of them are using the toolkit and there's a reason. And like, I'm like, okay, what's the reason? Um, and I think what's interesting is like the website doesn't do it justice. And I think you probably would agree with me. Like
Yes.
the customizer itself, let's go to this page together. Let's see if I can open it up in a tab and just try to help people understand that maybe finishing up this chat, and this might log me in. So when we're looking at this page and you're looking at like what would I want to get out of this? Some of the things that are being shown, like the menus, I cannot stress how helpful this one thing is.
Like the
Just
drop
the
down and the
just
flyout
the
menu.
one Yes, just the one just this one feature set has just been extremely helpful because I'll give you an example. With insurance companies, they have like maybe 15 different carriers. So we would spend time on an onboarding. We will say, "Hey, what's your favorite hyperlinks that you access all the time? Let me go make a menu link for you. Let me go
Mhm.
make a custom menu link." And we would do that for people. And we would go, it's better to put in these flyout menus so that it doesn't have like 15 different ones.
Right.
So we love doing that. And then um, I think that this is where like the customizer, it
The
doesn't
other
do it
thing,
justice.
it just
Yeah,
came to the next, like, the Flyout, the help and support. So that's really cool because, HighLevel has that where it has the push out support menu, but we don't have that natively for our people. And so the customizer has that ability to do the Flyout.
exactly. And like these little menus that they're kind of showcasing right here, these are like the flyout menus within the different tabs of the software. And I think that's what I was trying to say. Like I didn't have a visual for it because I just
Yeah.
don't have it hooked up in this particular agency account. But I think that's something that when you're looking at like what this product can do, we definitely I want to work with Tom to like get some really good content put together for the customizer and like all these different crazy use cases of it.
Yes, that would
Because
be amazing.
I think this is something that we should work together on to help illustrate what this would be so that you get a good preview here about all the things that it can do. I was blown away when I saw his help docs. I'm like, like what do you mean it does that? Like this is over the course of years of like being on the product, like
Yeah.
learning all the crazy stuff that it does. But
Yeah, it's like the toolkit, it really allows you to truly customize high level the way that you want to when you have the first understanding that you can white label. Like when you first get the understanding that you can white label high level, you're like, "Oh, cool, I can make this my own." But then you're going to hit a point where you get kind of stuck because it doesn't do all the things, and then you go to the toolkit, and it truly does allow you to make it into whatever you want it to be.
for
And
sure.
yeah, like, specifically for the niches that you want it to be because of the functionality that it's thought of.
And like for me too, like I'll embed other applications. So like I actually use his toolkit to pop open my own custom apps. So like
Yes!
from the developer standpoint, I don't have to go build custom buttons. I don't have to put the thing that displays the thing. I'll just put my app within his app. And now I get to sell Tom's product and I get to put my custom built product that's within the contact window. And this is the important part is we can pull a lot of things into those windows and just in the right spot that people are in the UI. And I think it saves a ton of development time where I don't have to like if somebody's ask of a client is I need to see this on the contact screen. Like, okay, like well now I gotta go like figure out how to do that with code. Like I don't want to figure that out. I'm just gonna go put together something quickly, get him a subscription to Tom's product, put it in the window, call it a day. And that's been my pattern that I have followed to make so much money in this space. As a small business owner, there truly is six-figure potential to be a marketing automations consultant in the space. I am living proof of it. I would not have given up my full-time positions and done other things if you do it. You can absolutely still do that. I think for people getting started, if you want to be a consultant, a marketing automations consultant, that's different than being a automations agency or being a marketing agency, two different people, different sets, still the same skill set, but I don't have clients. There's a big difference. Like I'm in, I'm out. I build and I leave. I still make the same amount of money, but I don't have this giant set of clients. I don't have, 70 or 100 clients sitting there hitting up my support tickets every day. So I think there's a different path for people who want to go down this, and knowing what tools are out there enables you to go do these things and have the flexibility to be a marketing automations consultant, which is what I do. So
That is amazing. I think you've really probably opened the eyes of some people watching about a different way to approach high level to make it scale. You don't just have to find your niche and go in it and get all these clients or just put your affiliate marketing link out to the wind and hope people sign up. There's a
right.
very clear path in what you're talking about.
Right. Yeah. You think of high level where like you think of it as a technology stack, just like a Salesforce, just like a HubSpot, that I can then turn around and build it out. I get the affiliate as part of the build out. And then when I'm done, who manages support? High level does because I am in and I'm out. And I've learned this from other people. Like it was like What do you mean you just go use your affiliate and you sign them up and then you leave? I'm like, yeah, like it's meant support tickets to HighLevel. I'm like, okay, so what's the point of running an agency? Because then you get this high ticket build, you get a low ticket affiliate coming in every single month. Ta-da, like I'm done. Like that was the model that made sense to me. And, I think over time, like people that have run high level agencies have also come to a similar conclusion because it does take time and a lot of money to support people and hire people and onboard people and do all these things that are involved with it. And the initial design is a lot like building a website. Like I'm going to go put together a landing page and some automations and some emails and stuff like that for HighLevel. And so I think these are great icing on the cake things as a consultant to be able to really add to a higher ticket build out for a marketing agency that wants to build on this product. And it's just, I don't think people see it in that way, Virginia. I think most people
Yeah.
are like, agency sign for the product, but it's like, I'm going to lead them to the water and they're going to drink the water. So here's the water that's like, come, this is good. We need this. And like, so I would find existing agencies or brand new ones to put on the product. So
That's amazing. I love that. Well, thank you so much, Jacob, for coming on and sharing your experience with HighLevel, with the Marketer's Toolkit. Congratulations on all of your success. And thank you again for coming today.